create a life that allows you to be yourself, that allows you to do whatever the fuck it is you want to do. Say what you want to say. Life is for your design. I think oftentimes because of the conditioning and the expectations and the social expectations, the judgments, there's so much noise going on in the world, and it's always pulling at your attention, telling you to do something or to be somebody else or for your life to be different. And then you start getting caught up in all of that noise, and then you're like, and then you lose yourself, right? Like the easiest example by far is the pursuit of money, for example, right? Why does anybody work a job? For money. Like, why else would you work a fucking job? You wouldn't. The only reason you work a job is for money, right? For paper, for fiat. It's not backed by gold, by the way. Money isn't real. How much are they inflating the supply? But back to my point. The only reason we work is for money. So anybody that tells you it's like, people bullshit themselves with what they do for the most part, because like 90% of them would not be fucking doing it if it weren't for money. Right? But then that begs the question, why do so many people do things that they don't want to do? They make money in a way that is not enjoyable to them. Well, I guess we're circling back to the same answer, money. Well, it's like that defeats the whole purpose, right? Because it's like, if you need to have money so that you can do what you want to do. But then people will make some money and then continue doing what they don't want to do in order to save up on money. Is just credit, right? It's future credit for you to apply onto whatever it is you want to apply, right? And people get so caught up accumulating the credit, doing something that they don't even like, that they only take 2 weeks out of their year to like do something. And even then they're spending the whole thing like as an escape, as a dread of, oh shit, I got to be back in a week. I got to make the most out of this. It's like, yeah, there's fun in it, but then it's like half of it is fear, right? It's like, I got to make the most out of it before I go back to this dreadful thing. So Krishnamurti said, right, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. This is the norm, right? What I just painted out is the norm. I find it absurd, right? When you dive deeper into questioning everything about reality, and I mean everything, it's like, why do we do anything that we do, right? Why do we work 40-hour weeks? Well, why do we take Saturdays and Sundays off? Why do stock markets exist? Why is money not backed by gold? Why do we have so many these assets, right? And it's like competing for us to choose where to park our money. My point is that like this is all a game. It's all a game. And the moment you see it for what it is, you stop taking it so seriously. When you stop taking it so seriously, you realize the things that you're deathly afraid of, your fears are an illusion, because nothing in this world is really real. It's because of our collective agreement that the US dollar is real that it works. Right? It's our collective agreement to have manners, to have a general respect for each other, that a society works, right? Because we choose collectively to follow the norms, the rules. But if you're like, I spent my whole life following these fucking rules, and on paper I did everything I want, that society told me would make me happy and that were big life milestones, yada yada yada. But I'm still deeply fucking, I'm depressed as fuck. Like, what the fuck is this? If like that's the feeling you get, it's like, well, that's like probably it's time to have a spiritual awakening, right? When it's the spiritual awakening is really like, can you let go, right? Psychologically, spiritually, mentally, of all of the attachments and the concepts that were sold to you, right? Can you let go of them? Because you realize that none of it matters to your deepest core of who you actually are in your real identity, right? A nice house, a nice car, nice things, yeah, it makes life better, 100%, right? But if you have steak and lobster every night, you are going to get sick of steak and lobster. Like, wealth, what everybody spends their whole life like drooling over, once you have it, it's like, cool. Like, I don't fucking want to eat steak and lobster every night. You know what I mean? It's like when you have an abundance to choose, now you're like, fuck. I don't want to, I want something new. I want a new thrill. Right? So this is why it's like the saying, like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. It's because like the richer you get, the more meaningless life gets, because you have more things to your access and you can just do more. You unlock more capabilities of reality, right? You can push buttons and things can happen. You unlock more buttons to push, right? But you get so bored of these buttons, you're like, fuck, I need a bigger button, right? That's why the rich get richer, the broke get broker, right? The rich are like, fuck, I've amassed this wealth. I've like done these things. I've achieved these things, but I'm still fucking empty. Like I still feel like life isn't good enough, right? And then because your baseline is already so high, you just keep chasing higher and higher and higher. But that is the entire hamster wheel, right? And what spirituality teaches us is that you have to get off of the hamster wheel in order to find peace, in order to find fulfillment, in order to find happiness, love. You realize the centenarians, the people who live past 100 years, like they didn't follow no fucking protocol of like, oh, you got to do 16-8 fast and you got to run 5K every day. It's like, oh my God, this like biooptimization is a neuroticism. Like they're genuinely just like, in my mind, there's two things. Okay. I guess three. Stay active. Enjoy healthy, wholesome, joyous relationships, fulfilling relationships with the people around you, family, friends, partner. And three, learn how to be fucking happy. Like, if you're a happy person, you have incredible relationships, you stay active, that's a plenty fucking amazing life. Don't need to go out here overcomplicating it. Seriously. Self-improvement, and what do you call makeup? Like, fundamentally, we are fucking insecure. We've run out of problems to have inside of the first world. So then we just create problems, right? Because of our own psychological insecurity. It's like the funny joke is like, it's like a woman will create problems out of thin air when her life is too good. When everything is provided for her, when like life is due, she'll go out and create problems. Why? And I mean, this applies to men too, right? But it's because there's nothing to do. You're bored. You'd rather have a thrill than be bored, right? So you go out and find a thrill. And maybe that thrill is cheating on your husband. Right? Like, seriously, women go out and look for. Now, this is nothing against women. I love women. Nobody loves women more than I do. Trust me. Um, but it's like stereotypes. Well, what are stereotypes? Stereotypes, well, why do they exist? Maybe because they're kind of true. You know what I mean? Oh my God, revolutionary. Oh, you can't say that. Oh. But you see, right? It's like so this is the whole thing with combining spirituality with achievement and success. People get so tangled up in material achievement and becoming somebody, right? Buffering up the ego, right? Covering up your psychological insecurities by gaining more in the material world, by making your ego more fashionable, more high status, more pompous, right? People do that because, well, it's like, well, if you don't do that, then what the fuck else are you going to do in this life? Right? If you are not bettering your life or bettering the appearance of your life, it's like, well, what the fuck else are you going to do? You're going to sit around and bum out? Right? That's the whole thing. Ambition is a fear of stagnation. Ambition, for most people, ambition is the fear of just being. Ambition is the fear of just doing nothing. Ambition is the fear of like this moment isn't enough. Ambition is the addiction to the future at the cost of the present. On the other hand, bumming out is being so ambitionless, so like a bum, that you're just like, oh, I'd rather eat the chips, eat the fried chicken, eat the burger, drink the soda, sit on the couch, play video games, and enjoy this moment fully right now, than care about, my life 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Like, what I'm trying to paint here is that I think both of them both of these, like, let's call them the extremes, right, of either end, of extreme ambition as well as extreme bumming out. On the extremes, I'm just, okay, they are neuroticisms, right? One can't sit still, the other one can't take action, right? And it's like, I think the best kind of life is when you find peace and then you take action from that peace. And when you develop the self-awareness, you immediately recognize when you're actually taking action from fear and scarcity and worry, versus when you're taking action out of joy, out of inspiration, out of peace, because this moment is already complete in and of itself. And to people who are like not operating from this state of consciousness, they're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, it's not. I have the bills to pay. I have the kids to take care of. I'm not in the shape that I want. Like, I hate my boss. Like name, it's like, it goes on and on and on and on and on. Right? And the whole thing about spirituality is that it teaches you, can you see the perfection even amidst the imperfect? Can you see the perfection because of the imperfection, right? Can you appreciate the perfection within the imperfections of your life? And I think the mistake a lot of times is when you get too spiritual is you start trying to be like, oh yes, be abundant. Oh yes. Oh, life is fantastic. Joy. Oh, bliss. Oh. Right. That it turns you passive. Oh, I don't need to do anything. Let me just enjoy this bliss. Fair enough. Right? But I do believe that the next stage of that evolution is like use the bliss to fuel you. I don't know how many people understand this because it's a state. It's a state. You get to the point in your own self awareness and self evolution where this becomes a state for you. Where you're just like, oh, I'm finished. Like life is done. Like I'm all done here. I'm done. But instead of like that turning into a passiveness, right? It's like spiritual people say, oh yes, just manifest your desires and dreams. Just sit around, do nothing, manifest your desires and okay. If you truly believed in your manifestation, wouldn't your actions in the 3D world be completely subservient, be completely aligned with the manifestation rather than you like sitting around and like trying to manifest it, imagine in your mind, but having no actual congruency in your actions, right? It's like the manifestation, say you want to you're fat, you want to get into shape. The manifestation has to happen in your head. It has to be aligned. Yes, absolutely. That's all of the battle. But the other all of the battle is then your actions in the day to day, actually being congruent with the manifestation. Right? The mental and the physical need to be in congruency with each other. Right? Why is manifestation so hard? It's because you get too spiritual and then you're just like, oh, everything is all mind. And then you're just like, you're manifesting your head, but you don't actually believe it because your actions don't reflect it. It's like you start neglecting the physical world because everything is mental, everything is spiritual. Yes, and so is the physical. The physical is also part of the spiritual realm. It's like these things need to come together. So this episode, I mean all of my episodes really have just been me. I have no agenda most of the time. I just come on here and rant to make my weekly video, and then like it's like just do things because you want to do them, this is a process of discovery, right? It's like I could come in here with a strategy of like, okay, this is the outcome I want. I want these KPIs, and then I want this outcome. I want this to be this in 1 year, 3 years, 10 years. And it's like, yeah, fair enough. Right. But notice, like, when you get lost in the sauce of outcomes, everything stops being enjoyable. When you start making life about outcomes and not process, when you start making them about the outcomes rather than experiencing, you lose touch with life, right? And this is the masculine error, right? The masculine is so goal oriented. Okay, A, we have to get to B. Let's get there. Let's fucking do it. Let's get it done. But it's like it doesn't care about the joy. So this is the feminine principle, right? The feminine principle, it's like, yeah, getting A to B would be nice, but it's all about the journey. It's all about witness. It's all about experiencing the tastes, the sights, the smells, the sights, the emotions, the feelings within the whole experience in getting to be. It's the same thing in sex, right? The man just wants to come. You know what I mean? The woman is like, she wants the foreplay. She wants the build up. She wants the narrative. She wants the story. She wants the full experiencing of the entire event. Right? Whereas men, I mean, most guys, right? If you're not very self-aware, it's just like, oh, it feels good. I want to come. Oh. Granted, as a man, when you develop a healthier relationship to the feminine, the masculine and the feminine come together. And, the joy of sex is not just coming, because it's like you come, it's over. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, it's like post nut clarity. And it's like you nut, and then it's like, well, okay, what the fuck was all that for? You know what I mean? But when you combine the masculine drive with the feminine surrender, the feminine enjoyment of the moment, right? The feminine climaxes, so to speak, on the full presence and experiencing of the fullness of the moment. The masculine climaxes, so to speak, and literally, when she too, it's like we both have masculine and feminine principles inside of us, right? When she achieves the outcome, right? Literally, it's like he gets the climax, he gets to the top of the mountain, he gets from A to B, he nuts. He literally nuts and climaxes off of that. Whereas the feminine climaxes off the fullness of the moment, right? So I'm using masculine and feminine polarity to explain why we do the things that we do, right? Because if we understand ourselves, then we can actually consciously approach the world and things and our emotions and our behaviors and our habits and our lifestyles from a place where we're actually conscious of what the fuck is going on. Because it's like, one of the things that pisses me off is like how many people are so unaware of like what's driving their life. And it's like they don't even know what they don't know. And it's like that's the worst part, right? When you don't know what you don't know, and then you're stuck where you are but don't want to be, but then you don't know how to get out. Right? I think life is constantly this art. And I'm speaking from the standpoint of a man, but I think as a man, to become whole, to become integrated, you truly have to learn this. You have to understand this. How can I be ambitious and driven, right? Because the male hallmark, the hallmark of testosterone, the hallmark of masculinity is drive, right? Drive for sex, drive to conquer, drive to achieve gigantic, humongous, awesome things, right? Whether that's building a company, building a shredded physique, building a wonderful family, like whatever that thing is, right? Or fucking building fucking gay little figurines, you know what I mean? Like every man has his own passion, no judgment, right? But the drive, right? Drive is the masculine principle, right? But a lot of times drive can make a man go out, lie, fuck, steal, rape. And that is when the masculine is there's a deep imbalance where there's so much over-identification with the masculine principle and so much out of touch with the feminine principle, right? That there's no compassion, there's no feeling, there's no emotion, right? It's just pure A to B. I'm going to get what I want at all costs. Whereas the feminine, it's like, again, we're going back to the same discussion. Speaking from the standpoint of a man, it's like you need to learn to harness and to integrate the feminine principle, well, as well as the masculine principle, right? Because you realize like most of the problems in life are just an energy imbalance. Either it's a feminine energy over-identification, in which case can cause a lot of passivity, a lot of overthinking, a lot of worry, a lot of people-pleasing, right? Like feminine things. On the other hand, over-identification with masculine energy, it's just like I said, lie, cheat, rape, steal, get what you want at all costs with no emotion, no compassion. When these energies come together, right? It's like when a man and a woman comes together, it's just a representation of the same cosmic interplay, right? The man is the masculine embodiment, the female is the feminine embodiment. They come together and then they create harmony, right? In the same way, in your own self as an individual, you have feminine and masculine. You have both the masculine and feminine principle. It's like when you're out of alignment with the energies, that's what creates the problems, the psychological dis-eases, the physical imbalances, right? The behavioral imbalances, right? And so it's like whatever preoccupation you have with your mind, it's a lot. It's less so a reflection of the actual thing, and more so a reflection of the way that you're not seeing it with clarity, because you're stuck in the matrix of the problem. The problem is a matrix, right? Think outside of the box. Okay, I'm gonna go hit some balls. Thanks for joining me on this one. I did a 3-week road trip across the US. I'm still organizing the footage. Man, that was beautiful. 9,000 kilometers. I'm going to try. Let me see if I can chop up a video of that, Yeah, other than that, hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next one. Peace out.